This is the AEW Dynamite March 19, 2025 full show results video, which takes place at Liberty First Credit Union Arena in Omaha, Nebraska. The show started with a match between Mark Davis vs Speedball Mike Bailey vs Orange Cassidy vs Ricochet for the AEW International Championship No. 1 contendership. Speedball kicks on Ricochet to send him packing. Orange comes back in with the disdainful little kicks and puts his hands in his pockets. Bailey with a diving T. Harris, laying chest kicks in on Rick, trying the same trick on Dunkzilla. They just get powerbombed into the apron. Then Orange comes in, Davis slams him into the apron as well. Dunkzilla cuts him down with a single chop and holds court in the ring, fending Orange off as well. More chops for Speedball while Ricochet joins commentary and says he's gonna hang back and pick his spots. Then Mike with a super kick for 2, drawing Orange up. Falcon Arrow connects and Bailey goes up top, shooting star press, but Davis pulls Speedball out of the ring. Ricochet with a Tope Con gyro on Dunkzilla, up top, Cassidy hurting, but Orange kicks out of a shooting star press. Speedball trading kicks with Ricochet, both men land boots and Davis comes in to drop them both with lariats. Pulling Bailey in, Guzzle on Ricochet, one-arm powerbomb on Mike and a powerbomb for Rick after. In the end, Speedball Mike Bailey and Ricochet both won the match by pinfall with a backslide and a folding press on Mark Davis respectively, both becoming contenders for the AEW International Championship. The next match happened between Billy Starks vs Mercedes for the AEW TBS Championship. Feeling out, to the floor, Starks with a suicide dive. Back inside, Billy gets a near fall, Mercedes comes back with a lung blower, cover for 2 and she throws Starks to the floor. Then we see Starks kicking out of something or other, Mercedes hammering right hands in the corner, climbing up top, jawing at her and hammering right hand, superplex connects. Mercedes rolls through, Billy counters with a brainbuster onto the knee. Boot up in the corner, head scissors shoves Starks into the turnbuckles, flip over a moan maker attempt but Mercedes clocks her with a knee. Billy with a knee and a kick, Mercedes with a lariat, both women are down and out. Starks goes up top, sent an atomic to the apron but Mercedes rolls away, crucifix pin for 2, right into the crossface and Mercedes won the match by submission with the statement maker, retaining the AEW TBS Championship. Back from the commercial, Maxwell Jacob Friedman cuts a promo backstage and he says everybody's talking about who's gonna win the race to be the next AEW World Champion, and he goes through each name in turn and dismisses them before saying he's the only horse to bet on. He's been looking at MVP's business card and it's got him thinking about his title being around Jon Moxley's waist. It's become clear that if he wants another shot he might need a clique of his own, but the last time he trusted someone he got burned pretty bad. He'll have an answer for MVP next week, but for now, the time for daddy crying over spilled milk is over, and it's time for him to smile over popped champagne instead. Then we saw a street fight between Adam Copeland vs Jon Moxley for the AEW World Championship. Copeland attacks Moxley in a loading bay and beats him down and throws Jon into a production truck and they brawl. Jon turns the tide and slams him into the door before grabbing his briefcase and running deeper into the arena. Out to ringside through the timekeeper's area, trading punches and Copeland spikes him with a microphone. Around ringside, Moxley recovers, walloping Adam with a kendo stick and choking him with it. Over to the announce desk, Copeland clears it and throws Jon on top of it, jockeying for position, hits paradigm shift through the announce desk. Big back rake in the turnbuckles, jockeying for position, hits superplex. Trading elbows from their knees into their feet, leg kick from Moxley, knees in the clinch, off the ropes, Adam ducks a lariat and throws a trio of his own. Choking Adam briefly, rolling out to the floor, Jon gets a table and slides it into the ring. He leans the table in the corner and Copeland slams into Jon's midsection and then hits him in the back. Suplex into Spike and the nails are struck in his back dangerously. Wheeler Yuta shows up and hits the Buseku knee and tries to pull Spike out of Moxley's back, but it's slow going. Referee Paul Turner yanks it out and the blood is flowing, and then Copeland powerbombs Yuta through a table on the floor, then Claudio Castagnoli and Pac show up to beat Adam down. Moxley bleeding, slow moving, just huge holes gouged in his back while Pac and Claudio work Adam over and set him up for a concerto, but here's FTR to make the save. Cash Wheeler dives on Castagnoli and Dax Harwood hits a DDT on the bastard before snapping off a piledriver on the champion. Dax takes Pac to the floor, Copeland gets back to his feet, hits spear through the table in the corner. Slow to the cover, but Marina Schaffer breaks it up, then hits mounted punches, Willow Nightingale makes the save and drops her with a lariat, then hits Cannonball off the apron. In the end, Jon Moxley defeated Adam Copeland by referee stoppage with the Bulldog choke, retaining the AEW World Championship. Post-match, FTR and Willow tend to Copeland and Dax Harwood seems pissed and refuses to grab Adam's hand and help him up. Cash Wheeler goes to the floor after him to see what's up, but Dax swats him away. Copeland gets to his feet and soaks in the appreciation of the crowd before Willow helps him to the back and his theme plays again. Renee Paquette interviews Bandito backstage and he says wrestling runs in his veins and he knows the dangers and he can handle them, but what Jericho did with Gravity at Revolution, the very first AEW show for his sister and his mother, making them cry in front of him, he'll never forgive him for that. So at Collision he hopes he shows up like a man and gives his brother's mask back to him. Johnny TV rolls up to ask him who cares and why he thinks he deserves to sit in the ring on TV on Slam Dunk Sunday. That's not ratings, but Johnny TV versus Bandito, that's ratings, and Bandito accepts the challenge. The next match happened between AR Fox versus Will Ospreay. Fast-paced to start, quick to a stalemate, smiles all around. Turning up the heat a little, Ospreay with the Stundog Millionaire and Fox falls to the floor and Will with a plancha elbow, fired up. Trading kicks, Matrix evasion to an Enzwajiri from Fox, Ospreay catches him with a standing Spanish fly. AR cuts him off, big boot in the corner, climbing up top, Will goes for cheeky Nando's, blocked, Enzwajiri from Fox, stepping up, covers but Ospreay kicks out. In the end, Will Ospreay defeated AR Fox by pinfall with Hidden Blade. Renee Paquette interviews Hangman Adam Page and he says he wants his focus to be on himself and he's gonna join the party and declare for the Owen Hart Cup, win the whole deal, and become AEW World Champion a second time. We get a hype reel for a Julia Hart vs Queen Aminata match on Collision as commentary hypes up our upcoming shows. Back from the commercial, Renee Paquette interviews Mercedes and she admits that Billy Starks put up a fight and she's got a lot of heart, but it takes more than heart to beat her, and whoever trained her knows nothing about pro wrestling. If she had trained Billy, maybe she would have won. Actually no, she couldn't have, because there's no stopping the Moan Train. Toni Storm makes her entrance to join commentary for our next match. In the main event of the show, we saw a match between Chris Statlander versus Megan Bayne. Feeling out, Bayne with an elbow and a lariat sends Statlander to the floor. Stat on the apron, kick and then a shooting star press to the floor. Back inside, a missile dropkick, mounted punches, Megan slips under, Chris with a crossbody, she gets caught but slips out, off the ropes, sliding kick for one. Setting Stat up top, trading punches, Penelope Ford runs interference and Megan drops her to the apron with a right hand, then hits a deadlift back suplex over the ropes. Chris ducks under a charge, super kick gets a pump kick, roundhouse, duck under the boot, big powerbomb from Statlander. Chris with a German suplex, Bayne right on her with a German of her own. Another German from Statlander, this gets a huge falling lariat from Megan and Chris falls to the floor. Back outside, Chris Stat cannonball but she gets put into the post and then thrown into Toni Storm by Megan, then hits Fate's Descent on the floor to Statlander. In the end, Megan Bayne defeated Chris Statlander by pinfall with Fate's Descent. Post-match, Storm gets up on the desk and tapes her right fist before storming into the ring and trading punches with wild abandon. Security and referees swarm the ring to pull them apart. Toni breaks free and sends Megan to the floor with a lariat. Storm gets on the mic and calls her a big bitch and says the bigger they are, the harder they come, so it's time they got tantric. She keeps looking at the title but doesn't have much to say, so Toni offers her a date at Dynasty. She'll make her thighs shake, body quake, and she'll leave with the strap on, because she's Toni Storm and she'll rip your tits off and the show goes off the air. How much you would rate this week's AEW Dynamite show? Please tell me in the comments section. Do not forget to subscribe the channel for the latest updates and video. Please like and share the video, and thanks for watching.